and it's only made me realize that bedside just may not be for me.
I like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better, yeah.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Dominique. I am an emergency room registered nurse, and if you are not new, then welcome back. Go to May. Thank you so much for tuning into another video, and if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can join the Golden Bay family. So as you guys can see from the title down below, today I'm going to be sharing with you all my 6-month job update. I cannot believe I've been a nurse for 6 months already. I feel like it was yesterday that I came on here and told you guys that I passed NCLEX, let alone that I got accepted into nursing school. I was posting all of my nursing school videos and, you know, coming on here and telling you guys that I graduated. I've now been a nurse for 6 months. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm really excited to get into today's video and share with you guys why I chose the emergency room, how it's going, and what are my future plans. So if you are interested in today's video, then just keep watching. Now, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to go ahead and shout out our Golden Girl sponsor. As you guys may have noticed, I do have on a pair of new glasses. If you're not new here, then you know how I feel about my glasses. Your girl loves her prescription glasses. So huge shout out to GlassesUSA.com for being our Golden Girl sponsor for today's video. Now, if you are not familiar with GlassesUSA.com, it's okay because I'm going to give you a quick spiel. But if you are not new to my channel, then girl, you already know how I feel about GlassesUSA.com. So really quickly, GlassesUSA.com is a website that offers over 10,000 pairs of prescription sunglasses and eyeglasses. Glasses USA offers their own in-house brands such as Muse and Amelia E. However, they do offer designer brands as well, such as Ray-Bans, Gucci, Versace, etc. So I'm going to take you guys on the website really quick and show you how you can use their virtual tool to try on glasses and things like that, and show you guys how easy it is to order, and then we're going to get into the glasses that I chose. Alright, so here's a really quick overview of GlassesUSA.com's website. By cutting out the middleman, GlassesUSA.com offers over 10,000 prescription glasses and sunglasses, including their in-house brands such as Muse, also designer brands such as Gucci and Versace. So right here, I'm showing you guys this really cool feature of being able to try your glasses on virtually. All you have to do is quickly upload a picture of yourself and you can see what the glasses look like on. GlassesUSA.com also offers an array of blue light blocking glasses. As a nurse and of course as a content creator, I am always on my computer editing or, you know, entering patient information onto the computer. So I love to find anti-blue light glasses or simply adding this option to my lens. I also love to get my contacts from GlassesUSA.com. This is something that of course I spend my own money on. I actually have all of my contacts on auto ship from them. Glasses USA also offers a quiz. If you have trouble finding the perfect pair for you, you can take this quick 10-question quiz and they can help you choose your next favorite pair of glasses. So this first pair that I have on is actually one of GlassesUSA.com's in-house brand. This is the brand Muse, and to be exact, this is M8071. Don't worry, I will have everything popping across the screen and listed down below in case you are interested. So let me show you guys what they look like up close. So here are what the glasses look like up close. So pretty. As you guys can see, it is in the color pink and it has that tortoise pattern. You guys know how I feel about my tortoise pattern. It just does something for me. I feel like it just makes you look so chic and put together. However, you still look very professional. All right, so this next pair is another one of GlassesUSA.com's in-house brands. This is the brand Amelia E, and this is mauve in the color gold. So I'll have it pop across the screen and of course listed down in the description box down below. So here are what they look like on. Again, super chic. If we're gonna wear glasses, we have to be cute with it, okay? And that's exactly what GlassesUSA.com does for me every single time. So here's a side profile. So pretty, and I love that it has that cat eye effect. You guys also know how I feel about my cat eye glasses. So chic, so pretty. And I just love how they're just very subtle, but they're definitely noticeable. They're not your average glasses. They're very chic, very girly, and very pretty. So here are what they look like up close. Look at that very soft cat eye. It's not, you know, in your face, but it's definitely there. I love it. All right, and for my last pair, I got a pair of sunglasses. And by the way, all of GlassesUSA.com's glasses, of course, comes with glasses cases as well as a cleaning cloth, because you never want to clean your glasses with your shirt. It only scratches it up. So all of them comes with that, which we love. Like I said, I did get a pair of sunglasses. So these are the Yoji Osaka, and these are in the color bronze/brown. Another side profile. So pretty. And here is a quick up close view. Now for two of my glasses, both of my eyeglasses, so these and my Amelia pair, I did get a prescription in them. And for my sunglasses, I did not get a prescription because I do want to be able to wear them when I'm out and about and I have on my contacts. So those are my new pickups. So once again, I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love this company. This is a company that I've actually spent my own money with before I was even sponsored by them. I actually love to get my contacts from there. I like to have my contacts on auto ship. That way I never run out. So I absolutely love this place. And like I said, I do keep my contacts on auto ship, which is an option that they do have. So once again, thank you so much to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring today's video. If you are interested in any of the glasses that I showed today, please check out my description box down below, as I will have everything listed there. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, you guys, so I did just take off my glasses so you guys didn't see like the reflection, because I am sitting in front of my window and sometimes the sun goes up, down, and you can see it like all in my glasses. So I just took them off. But let's go ahead and get into why I chose the ER. I chose the ER because I am an adrenaline junkie. I love a fast pace. I love excitement. And I didn't feel like I would get that on a floor. Mainly because on a floor, you see the same things. For instance, if you are working in neuro, you're always going to get brain tumors. You're always going to get seizures. You kind of know what to expect when you come into work. And that's something that I personally did not want when I went into work. I wanted to be surprised. I wanted to, you know, have one thing over here and then a whole nother thing going on down the hall. So that's the number one reason why I personally chose the ER. The second reason why I chose to work in the ER kind of ties into reason number one. And the second reason is you're not subject to one specialty. So as I mentioned in reason number one, you can have a seizure in room 6, and then you can have someone just coming in with a skin tear in room 1, but then you can have someone in respiratory failure in room 7. So you're definitely all around the place, but it definitely exposes you to a lot. And my last reason kind of ties into reason number 2. You're exposed to a lot. So you guys are kind of getting the gist. You pretty much see everything in the ER. Like I mentioned, you can have a skin tear, you can have respiratory distress, you can have a cardiac alert. There's so many things that you can see in the ER, which is something that I wanted. I didn't want to commit to just one thing, and I think that's why a lot of people say you should go into med surg first, because as you guys know, med surg is like a catch-all floor. You can have 5-6 patients with all different things going on versus just going to a neuro floor or going to a cardiac floor, where pretty much everything is the same and you're just getting a little bit more detail oriented. Now, that's one of the things that I can say about being in the ER. You're not subject to one specialty, so you're not going to be an expert in a certain field. So a quick synopsis, that is why I chose the ER. I didn't want to be stuck on a floor with just, you know, one specialty. I didn't want to start in med surg. I wanted a more fast-paced environment where I would see the patient as soon as they come in from fire rescue. I always knew that I wanted to go into the ER, but when I sat down, these are the reasons that I came up with as to why I chose the ER. And then if we're just being honest, I just feel like my personality fits the ER a little bit, you know? I don't know. And just to top everything off, my hospital is a level 1 trauma center. So that means pretty much everything within a certain mile radius is going to get transferred to my hospital, just because we have the resources to make sure we can stabilize that patient. So that's why I chose the ER, let alone my hospital, because I know I would be exposed to a lot of things. things. And I really love the fast-paced environment. Okay, so I hope that answers everyone's question who asked me, why did I choose the ER? Like I said, I kind of already knew the ER was a place that I wanted to go into, but when I sat down and really thought about why, those are the reasons that I came up with. Now, let's go ahead and get into the pros of my job, the pros of me being at my job for 6 months. So, the number one pro is, of course, I got into the ER as a new grad, which is absolutely crazy. We all know that the number one thing that people say is that as a new grad, you should, or you're supposed to, or you have to go to med-surg, and that is not true. You do not have to start out in med-surg as a new grad nurse. So, of course, that is the number one pro, that I got into the ER as a new grad nurse. My second pro or positive thing of being a nurse for the past 6 months in the ER is, like I mentioned before, I am getting exposed to a lot. I get to see a lot working in the emergency room. Just the example that I gave you guys earlier is true. I will have someone in respiratory distress in 7. I will have someone with a skin tear in room 1, and I will have, I don't know, someone having a seizure in room 3, you know? So you get exposed to a lot while working in the ER, and you'll probably get exposed to a little bit more than a nurse who is working on a floor. And of course, being exposed to a lot of things is great because you build experience, you build confidence in being a nurse, and passing medications and things like that. When you get exposed to a lot of things, it's like, okay, I know how to deal with this. So that is my second pro to, you know, being an ER nurse in the past 6 months. And the perfect example for this is IVs. You will start so many IVs in the ER, it's not even funny. You could probably do it with your eyes closed. Versus working on the floor, you're probably not really starting as many IVs, but in the ER, we are literally popping them in as soon as they come. So that's what I mean. In the ER, you just get exposed to different things, and it's because you're in the ER. It's because you're seeing them as soon as they come in versus seeing them once they're already stabilized on the floor. It's totally different. Moving on to number 3, I've heard before, if you can work in the ER, then you can work anywhere on a floor. So I don't know how true that is, but I can kind of see where that comes from because, again, with you being exposed to so much, I can see that me transferring to med-surg, I don't really think would be a problem. I can see me transferring to neuro wouldn't really be a problem, or cardiac, just because you are exposed to so much that you going to a specialty, I don't think really would be an issue because you are an ER nurse and you're so flexible. My fourth point is that you are able to experience and learn how to manage drips. Now, drips are medications that, of course, drip. You may give a bolus, which is a large amount in one time, but then you would set that same medication on a drip so the patient can get it continuously at a slower rate. And not all floors, such as step down, can take certain drips because they're so invasive, because they need to be watched. So as an ER nurse, you're able to experience these more potent drugs and you're able to learn how to manage them, what to look out for. Of course, you are trained for this, but again, being an ER nurse, that is something that you're exposed to. So that's why I just keep saying exposed. In the ER, you are exposed to a lot, whether it be, you know, medications or diagnoses or whatever the case may be. You see patients before they even come upstairs. And last but not least, of course, working in the ER, you have crazy stories. I've had crazy things happen to me in the ER with my patients, with my coworkers' patients. I've found patients doing stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. They always say, just ask an ER nurse a story and they will give you one of the craziest ones. And it's true because I've had some stories, y'all. I cannot even go into how many things I've seen patients do, or, you know, it's just absolutely crazy. So that's one of the things that I really love. Again, like I mentioned, you never know what's going to walk through those doors, and sometimes you may have people acting a donkey walking through those doors. So that's one thing that I love. You never know. You just never know. You stay on your toes. You never know what's about to hit the corner. So that's all of my pros for the ER. Let's go ahead and get into my cons. And before we get into it, this video in general is not to be negative. However, I do want to shed light on a lot of things that nurses do not talk about. I feel like nursing is so glamorized and all you see is figs and Starbucks and Mercedes and, you know, like you just see the nice things, the paychecks, the trips. But I don't feel like a lot of things are voiced. I don't feel like a lot of things are, you know, shown to the world about nurses. So that's something that I'm going to discuss now. So let's go ahead and get into number one. So my very first one is staffing, of course, being understaffed. And I know you guys hear this a lot, like, oh, understaffing this, understaffing that, but until you're actually in it, I don't think it will really affect you, or you can't really feel what I'm saying. Let me put it that way. It really takes a toll on you physically, it takes a toll on you mentally, and it honestly makes you not want to come to work, because it's just like you are doing a 2-3 man's job and you're getting one paycheck for one person. So that's really big. Actually, right now at my job, we have a lot of travelers coming in. However, some travelers are, of course, breaking contracts, not showing up, or they're not re-signing their contract, whatever the case may be, or you just have people quitting because of being understaffed. It definitely makes a difference, because of course your staffing is going to affect your nurse to patient ratios. I've had nights where I've had 10 to 11 patients, and I'm sorry, that's just not safe. I could very well lose my license. So again, this video or this segment is not to be negative. I just want to again shed light on things that I don't feel like are really talked about. And staffing is definitely a huge issue, and I don't feel like it's something where the grass is greener on the other side, where if I were to go to another hospital, although I do believe California is the one state that does have a specific nurse to patient ratio where they will not allow you to have over 4 patients. I've literally almost had triple that. There were a few nights where I've had 10 to 11 patients, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not safe for myself, for my license, and of course it's not safe for my patient. So staffing is definitely a huge con that I have, and it's something that I've experienced my entire 6 months of being at my job, and it absolutely sucks. The next con that I have is definitely going to be pay. Now, I know coming in as a new grad, you're not going to make the most money, because I am of course a new grad, but to be 23, I do feel like of course I'm doing very well for myself. However, again, with understaffing and everything like that, I just expect a little more, and it's not even, you know, to be greedy in a sense, but it's just like I feel like I'm working a 3-man's job. However, I'm getting paid X amount. So as a new grad specifically, that's why I'm saying this, because as a new grad, you're not going to make the most money because you are a new grad. However, as you gain experience and, you know, you get years under your belt, then you're able to negotiate your pay rates. So I do have to put this in my cons, because sometimes it does get frustrating working next to someone who's making 3 times as me, and I have 10, 11 patients, and I'm sitting here, you know, running around like I'm crazy. And you know, you just feel some type of way. At least that's how I can put it. So pay as a new grad isn't the best, but again, as a 23-year-old, I am doing pretty well for myself. But it's definitely, again, something that I would have to put in the cons category, because I do feel like new grads should make a little bit more, because I am doing the same amount as the person next to me. I know they have more experience, but I don't feel like the new grad pay rate should be that low. Con number 3 that I have since working in the ER for 6 months kind of ties into number 1. I would say burnout. I can honestly say I've experienced burnout, and I've only been working as a nurse for 6 months. And I was actually talking to my friend about this. You guys know Kelsey. I was on the phone with Kelsey today riding home, and we were just saying I wasn't expecting to feel like this so early into being a nurse. It is sad that I am already burnt out 6 months into my career. So really quick, here's some tips to avoid burnout as a new grad nurse. Number 1, you don't want to pick up shifts. I know, girl, the bonus sounds good, but you do not want to burn yourself out by working your 3 days and some, okay? Also, make sure you are taking time for yourself. And 3, the number 1 thing that I had to learn is you are not responsible for that company's understaffing. So that's something that I had to learn. I would get a text risks again, you know, picking up shifts because my manager would text like, hey, we're understaffed, can anyone pick up? Bonus. And a part in me would kind of feel responsible, like, hey, this is my job, I have to help out. You know, you don't have to help out. As long as you are working your scheduled shifts, you're not calling out, you are doing your part. You are not responsible for that job's understaffing, okay? If you pick up one shift, cool, but do not let them feel bad because you do not want to come in on your days off. You've earned those days off. So going back again, that's one thing that I was very shocked about, and I was kind of disappointed. And if we're being completely honest, I can see why nurses are leaving the bedside. And again, this video is not to be negative in any way. I just want to share things that I don't feel like a lot of nurses on YouTube or, you know, big name nurses on Instagram share. And if they do, it's more in a comical way. But I just wanted to talk to you guys like in a real sit down video and tell you guys like how I've been feeling. I can see why nurses are leaving bedside, and I'm going to get into my next point, but it's because of burnout, it's because of understaffing, it's because of being underpaid. I don't feel like nurses are getting what they're worth, and I can see why nurses are leaving bedside. And I remember when COVID first came about, a lot of people were saying that there's not enough nurses, etc., etc. And I personally never felt like that was true, because if you think about it, there's how many schools in the United States of America? Take that and think about how many nurses are being produced each year. So you're telling me there's not enough nurses in the world, or you're telling me that there's nurses out there who know how much they're worth and they don't think it's worth working bedside. Again, you guys, I just want to talk to y'all like y'all my brothers or my sisters, because y'all are like my family. So I can honestly see why people leave bedside. It's because, I'm going to get into the next one, it's because burnout, it's because of understaffing. You're really not paid what you're worth. Even if you are getting traveler's pay, if you just think about a lot of things, no money is worth your mental. No money is worth breaking down your physical, lifting 300-pound patients, and you wanting to help people can only be stretched out so much. So moving on to my next con, it would have to be literal, verbal, and sometimes physical abuse. Now that's something, again, we'll have TikTokers, you know, on TikTok laughing about, but it's really not funny. It's crazy to me to think that people would come into the ER who want help, and yet they call you out your name, they threaten you, they, you know, wish certain things on you. Like, it's crazy. And again, there's only so much that money or you wanting to help people can go to. I just feel like sometimes you have people that come into the hospital and they feel like they're number one, which is totally true. But with that understaffing, there's only so much you can do as one person. So again, I just feel like this is some things that people really don't discuss. But the verbal and the physical abuse, it's there. Now, of course, if someone touches you, then of course you can file charges as assault and battery. But again, you would expect people to have way more respect for nurses. And I've literally seen the bare minimum. I've literally seen like nurses get spit on, you know, people get hit. Like, it's not right. And it's only made me realize that bedside just may not be for me. I definitely don't see myself at bedside for much longer. I do want to get my experience. However, I don't feel like me being a bedside nurse is worth it. And it's so crazy that I'm making a video like this, because I've watched videos similar to this where nurses are like, I quit my job, here's why, and they're literally listing off these reasons. And to myself, I'm like, there's no way it could be that bad. But when I tell you guys, it is. Like, it really is. And I'm not too sure, you know, if it's my hospital or whatever the case may be. I personally feel like it's modern day healthcare. And again, everyone just feels like I'm number one, which of course as a patient you are, but some people don't realize like, hey, I have you and 10 other people, you know, depending on what the nurse patient ratio is that day. So I feel like it's not worth it. And my last biggest con, again, I said biggest, is sometimes I just feel like a number. Again, the staff ratios. You just feel like, hey, I'm here because I'm a nurse. You don't really feel appreciated sometimes. I really just feel like a number. And I feel that way because if you really sit down and you think about it, healthcare is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They don't care if there are 2 nurses on the floor. They're going to keep those doors open. So that's what I mean by feeling like a number, where if you say, hey, I really cannot handle another patient right now, it is what it is, because you have, you know, another patient coming in. So it's a whole thing in and of itself, where I just really feel like sometimes nurses, again, are not treated the way that they should be treated. They're not giving the respect that they should be given. And I do think it is a bedside thing, where when you're working in the hospital, you know, that's where people are their absolute sickest, in, you know, in the hospital. But of course that doesn't excuse the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, the, you know, just feeling like a number, you know, just literally being asked to come in when you just work 3-4 days in a row. Like, you just literally feel like a number. You're just a body. That's something that I felt already being here at my job for 6 months. And again, I don't see myself working bedside for that long. And that is the number one reason why I am a full-time student right now, is because I need to get my degree done as fast as I can, because I don't see me doing bedside for a very long time. Alright, so those are all of my cons for being a new grad nurse and everything that I've experienced so far. And I know this video may have taken you guys aback, like, what, Dominique? I was not expecting this. But like I said, y'all are like family to me, and I feel like my platform is one that is honest, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat things for y'all, because I don't want you guys to be like me. And I think I can speak for Kelsey too, because we were literally again on the phone today. Like, I was not expecting this. Like, coming into being a nurse, like, you would not expect to be feeling like this, and you've only been a nurse for 6 months. I don't want you guys to be blindsided. I want you guys to kind of have an idea as to what to expect, because like I said, I don't feel like understaffing is just my hospital problem. I feel like it's a problem almost everywhere. So there's really no way to get around it, as well as verbal and physical abuse. As a nurse, there's really no way to get around it. So I don't want you guys to be blindsided. So again, those are all of my cons. I feel like I've been rambling on, but it's just because I just got into like a whole thing. I really felt like I was talking to Kelsey all over again. But let me go ahead and tell you guys my plans. What are my future plans? So I do still want to travel nurse. I want to, you know, travel around the world and still do bedside nursing. I do want to finish out at least a year at my hospital right now. That way I can have some experience under my belt, but I do plan on becoming a travel nurse. And of course, I do plan on furthering my education. As I mentioned to you guys earlier, I am taking 4 classes right now. I'm a full-time student while, you know, being a full-time employee. And it's because I see that this is something that I don't want to do for the rest of my life. It's not something that I can see me doing for the rest of my life, which is absolutely crazy, because I can see how you can get run down. Like, these companies will run you down, and at the end of the day, again, healthcare is a multi-billion-dollar company in a sense, and they will run you down. So that's where my head is right now. I definitely want to invest and, you know, just make sure nursing is not my only stream of income. And that is the biggest piece of advice that I can give you guys right now, is to not only have one stream of income, because I don't know what I would do if nursing was my sole stream of income. So yeah, those are my plans for the next, you know, couple months to a year or so. But you guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I feel like this video was definitely different. The tone was definitely different, but it's because it's honesty. And I don't want to be one of the people that I used to watch, you know, glamorize nursing, because that's not what it is. I wanted to be honest with you guys and tell you guys what to expect as far as nursing and things like that. So that is my 6-month job update. Do I hate nursing? Absolutely not. I love what I do. However, do I see myself doing it for a long time? Absolutely not, because I can see where the burnout comes from. I can see how the physical and the verbal abuse can run you down, because it has already started and I've only been a nurse for 6 months. So definitely take this video with a grain of salt. Be excited about nursing because it's a beautiful thing. It's so fun. Again, I love what I do, but I feel like everyone should definitely be careful and just love yourself enough to know that when it's time to leave a place, it's time to leave a place. Sorry you guys, my camera died, but I was just saying, just know when it's time to leave a place, you have to go, and just love yourself enough to know that you deserve better in situations. And this may not even be pertaining to work, all situations. Just know when it's time to remove yourself and love yourself enough to do so. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That is all. I hope you guys got something from this video. And again, this was not to be negative. I of course had more cons than pros, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was a raw one for me. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out my description box down below for all of my new glassesusa.com pieces, and you guys know the drill. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.